This is Stryker from the Philadelphia Hooligans, and you're listening to Derby Rocz.
She's the hottest little deal on 8 wheels, burning like a babe out of hell. Jamming in a blocker and a little skull knocking, it's enough to make a grown man yell. Go, go, roller girl, look at that girl roll. Roller derby saved my soul.
Hey now, happy Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's your old pals, Shram and Cashman. That means you are listening to Derby Rocz. Hi, hi, hi. How are you, Cash?
Hey, we're back here live in the studio. Maybe a second or third time this year. I don't know.
We haven't done it too much, but it's always good to be back. You know, I mean, I know we've done at least a few shows this year, but
yeah.
I meant to kind of mention it before. I'll mention it now, just because we kind of talk about everything. I appreciate you being patient. It's hard to do all the things that I do. Try and have my derby career like on skates as well, while managing my back and pain levels and stuff like that, and having the new kid and doing the show and all the jobs and so on. So thank you, Cashman. Thank you to our friends, listeners, and so on who deal with the sporadic new shows.
I was going to say, have no fear. There are more coming this year.
Yeah, I mean, we the best laid plans of mice and men, quite honestly.
Yep.
It happens, It's just hard sometimes, even when we talk about it, or we started planning this week on like Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that, and then it's just like gets put off. It slips my mind because, I have other stuff going on. I'm dealing with the baby.
You got a wonderful little boy. If you were here for the last time we were in the studio, we had our special co-host, Anderson.
Yeah, it was so cute. I haven't gone back and listened or anything like that, but I'd imagine even just some of the audio is really adorable. That's a really great episode.
It was.
We do appreciate you for listening, for being patient, for being a part of all of this. Your derby story, your derby events, your derby lives is continually why we do this show. So I appreciate y'all being patient while my real and derby life kind of goes on slowly and quietly.
When we started this, nobody ever said you had to do it every week, but we have been.
Yeah, we did.
For 10 years, almost. It was like
pretty much now, right?
Heck, we even did it every week when there was COVID
and there was nothing to talk about. So
I'm so glad that time is gone.
I don't necessarily feel bad about it. It's nothing that I'm like beating myself up about, but I do appreciate the people who do listen. The tugboats of the world who listen pretty regularly, who don't mind that it's not always the most fresh.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that we did do 500 episodes back to back 500 times, so that way we can replay interviews when we have to.
That's
and
true.
So on.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate everybody, and I'm appreciative of this show. I don't know how much, and I've been saying this for like a year and a half now, I don't know how much more I can necessarily do or give, because I think as a whole, my derby career is probably winding down, at least the on skates portion, so I don't know what's left of all of this, but I'm happy to be here, and I just do appreciate the patience. So thank you for working through it with me as I navigate being a old ass dad.
Well, I tell you, it does probably feel good to be wanted, and it's like, we want you, man. They want me, everybody wants everybody, and so as long as you guys don't mind, no, I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be every week, but then there'll be a break every once in a while. I know for a fact that when June comes around, I am going to be at a tournament that starts on a Thursday,
nice. Yeah,
I'll be there up a Thursday.
And then we just had, speaking of that tournament, we just had the first WFTDA regional event, right?
We did, last weekend in
we got the scores
Latin America.
Talk about that? It was in Latin America. Some of our friends went. It was very cool to see some of the pictures and so on. I don't want to switch subjects real fast, but
there are some scores on here from that, definitely. But we could call it up individually, but it was. They had some real difficulties with it. We'll say with that tournament.
I mean, of course, it's what country was it in? I forget exactly, but I'd imagine. I mean, it's maybe not the best internet, or maybe some infrastructure issues or whatever.
I think got their stuff straight, but it was just did not start out right.
No, they even came out and were like, "Hey, we're sorry. The stream team's having some struggles." So whatever. It's at least they kind of put it out there and let everybody know, so people don't feel like they're going crazy.
Isn't it crazy? We already have a tournament for champs starting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to kind of start early because WFTDA goes like 2 years now. It's like a 2-year cycle. And there's a lot of WFTDA teams. There's like 600 teams probably sanctioned WFTDA teams now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild.
What's the cool thing is they put out a teaser today that they're going to announce all the tournaments, who is going to be in them.
Gotcha.
This Monday, I think, April 12th. They said that's when the big announcement's going to be. But I mean, I know that some. Because I'm announcing in June in one, I know that they already know teams that are going to be there for that, even though I can't say, and I'm not absolutely sure.
Yeah, they've gone by whatever the rankings are. And
and they've sent out the invites.
The cutoff and sent out the invites.
And then,
then they have to leave enough time for the people that can't make it to call up the next team.
It kind of changed the way our announcer schedule is going, because some people might be skating who were planning on announcing. And so that came out this week.
Sure, that's always a thing that you might have to consider.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think it's cool, but it's like,
I mean, I've called. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
That's
today.
okay.
I've literally called half of a game with you to go put my skates on. And play at like GVA a couple of years back with it was a juniors game.
Yeah,
we called half of a game together. It's happened when we played out in like Rome. I've done it when we were there.
When you weren't playing, when you were talking.
Cup, right? Yeah. So. No, I've definitely done it, but not on that level. I'll say for sure, but
it's very cool because they're using this chat system amongst everybody, and it's just so cool. It just makes it, everyone introduces each other on it, and it's very cool to. I'm looking forward to some of that, but it's interesting that it's like. Just calling Derby. I've only really done January of this year, and I feel kind of like I mean, if I do it consistently, it's great. But if I take breaks, I kind of get that imposter syndrome thing going on.
You're going to get some experience. Well, not experience, but you'll get your reps in this Thursday or whatever.
Tomorrow in Queen City. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was. I didn't know exactly when it was, but I knew it was sometime.
So that's exciting. So I should just grasp anything I can, and I'm probably going to go to Bucks Mountain 425. So that's April 25th for Roxy playing Bucks Mountain.
Cool.
Yeah. So I have to see if I can make it in my schedule, but I'm excited that it's coming. It's like it's like I said, the imposter syndrome. It happens all the time for me. Every year I feel that way, and then when I get together with everybody, it's like, oh my gosh, everyone's so warm.
Could do May 9th in Cleveland. Probably, I don't know what the situation is out there. Because Pinky is now their coach.
I saw that, coaching both their teams, their A and their B.
Yeah, so they are going to probably not have her announce their game. So
they got Kent out there.
Yeah, sure, and that's great. But you could go, you could announce with him, or maybe he's unavailable, being a politician and all.
Yeah, that's true.
And I haven't seen him do a Cleveland game in some time.
It's been a while. I saw him, it's been a couple of years. Yeah.
Probably at a Summer Affair, if I'm being realistic.
I saw him last time I saw him was at Summer Affair too, a couple of years ago.
Why don't you try and do that, and then you can come with us?
Oh, that would be cool.
It's like one day we're going down Friday, and then we'll be back late-ish Saturday. But we're doing two games, and we're gonna play the new Virginia team.
Oh yeah,
they're not quite MRDA, but our friend Sweets plays for the Virginia. I think it's like Virginia Men's Roller Derby or Virginia Mixed Roller Derby.
Yeah.
Don't get upset at me if I said it wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's VMRD though. So Virginia has a team.
Love
so they're
seeing
trying
these
to
new teams pop up.
Yeah, of course. It'll be great to have another regional team.
Yeah, and they got to get their 4 games right in order.
I think it might be 3 now.
3, okay.
So they'll have like 2, 2 there. So.
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a new team. We're going to play them in a regulation game, of course, and then we'll play Cleveland sanctioned on May 9th.
Yeah, your season really is kicking off next weekend.
Yes, it is. You are not wrong. Speaking of next weekend, we are going to have a great interview with Bruiser Lee from Austin Anarchy, who we just happened to, Flower City is now going to step into the A bracket as well and play one A team. We did have a team drop from Bob H. So it happens. It seems that there's a lot of times that we have been like a fill-in team. We love it. We love that we can be there and do it.
That's when you're there anyways, you know?
Yeah, we're already there.
Yeah.
Or there have been times where we've just filled in entirely, but you know, this time we weren't quite able to make all of the games that were originally scheduled for this team. So we will step up and play one additional game. We were originally slated for 2 B team games.
Wasn't the fear in Mass Maelstrom? They got filled in for that game.
Yeah. So our first sanctioned game was against Maelstrom because.
For those of you who don't know, that was a team in Massachusetts.
There was a team back in the day. So, and it was at like a tournament in Philadelphia that we went down to. So we got the call on like Monday, and we made it down on Saturday for our first sanctioned game, and we got blown out by 400 points by Philly.
And I remember I talk with Torque all the time, and he's like, I scored those 9 or whatever. And it's like something he keeps on the trophy case there because Torque's a great dude.
That was awesome. But no, we've done that. We've filled in at like Dawn of the Derby, I think, a few years ago. I forget exactly, but yeah, we love doing that. It's no problem. Whatever things happen, we understand that people will drop out. But yeah, so we're stepping up to play Austin. And because I had a bit of a lazy week and didn't get anybody on the show, I figured having Bruiser Lee on again, or replaying our interview with Bruiser Lee from exactly this time last year, probably getting ready to head to New Hampshire for the Battle of Bunker Hill.
Get to go up against Colonel Angus and all those guys.
Love Freight Train, of course.
Freight Train,
Sharky, Cole, Ice Cole, we've had on the show before, so... Yeah, most definitely. Like a bunch of our friends. So when it was like the opportunity to play and I saw the schedule, I was like, absolutely. Yeah. So we are picking up the early game against Austin on Sunday, which is going to be brutal. Nothing like waking up at 9 a.m. Before 9 a.m. Nothing like waking up at like 7 a.m. to go get your lunch money taken by Austin. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
you coached them. You have a little inside info.
Yeah, I mean, we've played them. We played them before at Roller Derby tournament.
Yeah.
Blah. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, Bruiser Lee was a great interview from last year. Fascinating, awesome individual. I love them. So it's going to be great to see all of our friends.
And I actually brought it this time on the thumb drive.
Proud of you. Great job. We're killing
much unlike Veronica Scars, which I apologize, but it has played the last 2 weeks on the.
We got there. Whatever. No worries.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have a great interview. We'll get to our weeks here in a minute, but yeah, there's a ton of great derby going on. I'm so excited. Next week, Bob H in Dover, New Hampshire. There's gonna be a bunch of great teams. There's gonna be a bunch of friends all in one place. It's an amazing way to kind of start our season off. I will say it's pretty much just like right into it for us. We haven't really like scrimmaged or anything, but not to discredit anybody, but I'm sort of glad that we're gonna start off with like some B teams, and a little bit less pressure, I'd say. And
is this Shenanigans there?
The Shenanigans are the first team that we're playing against on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And
the first time I ever played in Derby, the very few times it was against the Shenanigans,
whatever, right?
For a couple of jams.
What will I say? We've always lost to them. There's no pressure there for me. You know what I mean? So
I think you have a bit different team now. There's some different people on there.
They've definitely got some different people. We've got some different people. That's all right. So we'll see how it shakes out, but I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm just super excited to get the season going, and see how my body handles it.
Definitely.
we'll at least get through the weekend and we'll go from there, right? So,
Without a doubt, knock on wood.
yeah, absolutely. Why don't you tell me what's been going on before we get to that interview with Bruiser Lee?
Okay, well, I don't know. I've been working a lot, which is like probably the same thing I said last time we did this.
It's pretty common for both of us, my man.
Yeah, where I have to that, but it's nice to see that I can almost say that, even though the weather has been kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in this time of year again, I don't think we're going to have any substantial snowfalls because we are deep into April.
I mean, don't say
well,
that.
almost deep into April. That's what she said. But nevertheless, we are. So hopefully, I can take the snow brush out of the car.
Don't do it.
I already did something that I thought maybe it was my fault.
Yeah, you can't do it until like May, man.
Yeah,
Even then,
yeah,
we've had snow in May before.
No, yeah. So I did around here, but nevertheless, that makes it kind of exciting. And so, but I've been doing some extra time. Have not been announcing any of sports this year at school. I usually do flag football. It started this past week. It's kind of becoming a big thing in sports. I've seen they have men flag football. This is always a women's team at West Rondequoit. So, but maybe I will this year, maybe I won't. But it's like. So that means I got to work more doing other things. And it's like now is the time of year, unfortunately, at my job that it's a talent show here, talent show there. And I do kind of enjoy being helping coordinate all that stuff. So it's kind of fun. But beyond that, I'm going to be in Queen City tomorrow to help announce Rock City Roller Derby's Rock Stars and B-Sides taking on Queen City's teams. And it'll be fun. I get to see my daughter. I haven't seen her, I can't think, since Christmas maybe. It's been so.
Yeah,
it's
been a little while.
It has been so. But I'm looking forward to. But it's nice to get out there. I have not seen. I've been to like one scrimmage at Rock City this year, so I'm really not sure. Some new people on the team. I'm looking forward to see how they gel with them in the games. I've got there's some others. Beyond that, I can't think of anything too exciting going on. Besides that. But how about you? We're coming off Easter weekend.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff. A lot of work has always been doing some shows. I will say a lot of the shows that I do here are very small local shows because it's a smaller venue. And I will say small local shows sort of have the same problem that like roller derby has, that if you don't, you get as bands and stuff like that, you get kind of what you put into it. Some of our bands will actually go out and hand out flyers at other shows and hang up flyers and promote and sell tickets to their friends and family, and they have decent turnouts and they're making a couple of bucks. And then there are other bands who are not really doing too much, not really doing enough, and just kind of scraping by and showing up, and that's fine and that works, but it's just sort of a bummer sometimes to see. But yeah, I work a lot of small shows.
Yeah.
It's kind of slow sometimes. It's boring, but it's easy money for me.
Sure.
You had mentioned Easter, so I don't know if I had talked about it. I don't think I have. I don't think we've been back since Easter happened. So we took Anderson because there was very few places that we found that had an available infant or baby kind of toddler section. He's 14 months, he's walking, he's doing really great crawling, and he can get around fast, but he still can't go and do an Easter egg hunt with 5 and 6 and 10-year-olds and stuff like that. So we ended up at Altitude, the trampoline park, believe it or not, which was sort of an experience, but they do have a kid section or a baby section or whatever you want to call it, and they did have a bunch of Easter eggs over there, so we were able to go in there, and it was sort of my fault for doing it. We had a great time and it ended up being a lot of fun, but he didn't care too much for doing the actual Easter egg hunt because he was at a trampoline park for the first time. And he's just learning to walk for the first time. So not only is he just learning to walk, there's a ton of stuff going on. There's parents, there's loud noises, there's kids, and he's trying to learn a trampoline too. So it was just probably overwhelming for him. But overall, just really cool. A lot of fun. My mom was there. She thought it was hilarious. He loved the foam pit. So there's just a foam pit you could walk off the edge into or jump off the edge into, and he really enjoyed doing that. So him and Jennifer Double N were in the foam pit, and it was just really cute. And he kept jumping in, and then he'd want to get out, so we'd get him out and stand him up, and then he would walk in, and just super cute. And then I got to do some like jumping around with him and stuff like that. And he was having a lot of fun. And
takes us back to that derby party where we're all in the giant trampoline.
yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't, but
fun story about that is I split my shorts doing a front flip on that trampoline back in the day.
Goldie's place.
Luckily I did have an additional pair of shorts, but I 100% did a front flip and ripped my shorts like beyond repair. So
someplace there's a picture of that. I know there is
100%
because I was outside taking pictures of people.
A lot of work. I think I mentioned that I started working at a bowling alley.
Down in
at Canandaigua. So it's a bit of a hike, but it's totally worth it. It's fascinating and a lot of fun, and I get to bowl for free if I want. Apparently, I learned that today.
Have you been to the neon lane area?
No, I haven't done that. So they only do that really like Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
And it's like late at night, so I haven't quite done that yet.
It's blinding. It's so neon. It's
I mean, I've definitely done rock and bowl and that at like a different bowling alley before when I was young.
We used to bowl here. Remember, that. We used to go bowling every once in a while.
I still go. I mean, it's been quite some time. I guess I could. So I don't know why I even said that.
But we did do that. I remember a few times after the show we were to go bowling.
And I love bowling. I actually have a couple of bowling balls, and I want to get a new one now that I work at a bowling alley and can go bowling for free. So
custom
that's pretty
fit,
cool.
man.
Yeah, of course. I did work on Easter, which was a little bit weird, but they had a tournament that was wrapping up. It was like a big, like weeks-long tournament for, singles, doubles, and teams, and so on. So I was there at like 10:30 in the morning, serving drinks and stuff like that at the bowling alley, which is just fascinating on its own. And it was Easter Sunday again, which is weird, but we had a nice family Easter overall. I, cooked a big steak for us. And made some decent sides. Nothing too fancy, but it was nice to just kind of, stay home and spend time with the family. But we've been doing a lot. We actually got last-minute tickets to the Sabres game last night.
Oh, what a game, man. That would be a fun one to go to.
Unbelievable. Tons of fun.
Yeah.
I was thrilled. The goalie, it was his first NHL shutout. So, I'm obviously going to tell Anderson about that someday, and we'll look back on
Scored
it. Scored
what, 4 goals in a third period? 5 goals in a third period.
Well, no, 4 in the third. You're right. But it was 5-0 at the end. Huge game. If you're a hockey fan at all and you've been following, the Sabres are an absolute powerhouse right now. First place in the Eastern Conference at least. Sitting at 106 points. So it is just awesome. The vibes were out of this world. Everybody's having so much fun in that building. It is amazing. But yeah, we got reasonably priced last minute tickets, which was great. Not too much over face value. We took the baby. He had fun. He loves clapping. He's just fascinated by loud noises and things like that. So it is definitely a great time, and just getting to do stuff with Double N and him is awesome. I work a lot, so we can do stuff like that. And just kind of it's hard. I'm not always home. I'm doing a lot. Jennifer does a lot with Anderson to make sure that I can work, but it's because I can just get us last minute Sabres tickets, or we can afford to do X, Y, and Z. Not that we're well off or we're rolling in it by any means, but I certainly we work hard for what we have. She works plenty hard herself. It is awesome to be able to do that and share that type of stuff with the kid.
Oh man, memories that even if he doesn't remember pictures, he'll remember.
We absolutely got a bunch of pictures, and I'm for sure.
I remember when I was a kid, we camped all the time. I don't remember camping much beyond that, but as a kid, we used to camp all the time. I see all these pictures, I must have been having a fun time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's important, and more so, especially now, we have so many digital memories. It's great, that you don't have to worry about losing them and stuff like that, but. Before we get to our interview with Bruiser Lee, and before our buddy George comes in here, who just walked in the back, I heard him, so of course got to shout out our friend George.
Of course.
Why don't we get to some of our scores? We were just referencing that the Latin America regional, right?
Yeah. And
you hit some of these scores.
So we got I'll go through the closest bouts from last weekend. We had Tallahassee 119 over Greensboro 111, and I guess it's Banderas Insurrection. This is a weird score, but they had to change the way they did the tournament on the last day because they had to change the rules up to make it shorter time because I can't remember exactly the reason why, but the earlier games were only like 20 minutes or something. And but those were just the placing games. It wasn't like first, second, or third.
Sure,
it was
just
the consolation games. Yeah.
I got
So
you.
we had Banderas Insurrection 61 over Los Pibos 52. That was a 9-point game. We had A2RD Travel Team 140 over Free State 130, 10-point game. Twin State 129 losing to Circle City 139. Norfolk over Bristol 133 to 123, and that was it. But some of the biggest upsets were the DRD Standbys beating Saskatoon 127 to 104. Bone Breakers beating Metropolitans 174 to 85. Classic City 282 over Chat B Railers 140. We had, of course, like I mentioned, the Norfolk Bristol game, and some of those other games were the same ones. This week coming up, we've got a few games, including Rock City playing at Queen City. If you want to come out and catch 2 games tomorrow, Riverworks, fun place to go. But we've got looks like they're doing the French tournament right now because we got Marseille versus Lyon, Nantes versus Paris. We've got Milano at Hamburg, Croix de Paris versus Saint. So we got that, and I think
we're the worst.
I am. It's
I
like,
said
but
we are.
I did look it up, and it was definitely the French tournament going on right this weekend. So
No doubt.
instead of printing like
Those
that,
teams are always going at it, though.
Yeah,
man. Even on the MRDA. And speaking of MRDA, we have Southern Discomfort going up against the Inhuman
what
League.
a transition!
Yeah, why?
That was beautiful.
Right? Yeah, it's like we do this every once in a while.
That's fantastic. Got some stuff going on this weekend too, including, I didn't even print it out, but Angel City's got a tournament going on. Speaking of Freight Train playing for Angel City,
sure,
we're going to be playing for Angel City this weekend, and then coming and playing Bob H next weekend. Yeah,
but I mean, Freight Train is a beast. My mom loves to talk to me about Freight Train, which is hilarious. My mom is like one of Freight Train's like biggest fans. She like follows her on Facebook and stuff.
Me too.
Of course. And we all love her. She's amazing and a great human. Yeah. And she like, her job is like driving around rescue animals. Yeah. And my mom's always like, Freight Train was so-and-so. And then she was like driving the dogs and, are you going to see Freight Train? It's so funny. I love my mom. She like follows along with Derby and it's really cool.
Well, Freight Train's like the skater that I remember when I went to the Champs in Philadelphia. That just like, wow, I was blown away.
One of the goats, what I mean? Like so good, just a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And that's when Freight Train was playing for Texas. Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned, it's nothing like getting up at 7 a.m., next Sunday to get ready to get my, lunch money taken by Freight Train first thing in the morning.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see how it shakes out, but it's always a good time. There's a lot going on. Make sure you follow us on socials before we get out of here. We're on most of them. Go follow along on Facebook and all that. Derby Rocz. Follow along and where you get your favorite podcasts. We're going to go ahead and hit our interview with Bruiser Lee here in a moment.
Yeah.
And we're going to get out of here. We should be back next week before I get out of town, but we love and appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome back to Derby Rocz. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's another week and another opportunity to talk to a great athlete and a great person. I'm very excited to have Bruiser Lee from Austin Anarchy on the show. Thank you for joining us. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, a little busy, but in a good way.
Yes. You're playing some role-playing games, tabletop games. What do you got going on over there?
Yeah, it's a D&D night, so there's about 9 other people playing Imaginations.
I love that. That's awesome. Is Imaginations like a particular offset or like a new book to work through?
No, it's just we make fun of ourselves when we play D&D. It's like, it's time to play Imagination game.
Oh, okay. I love it. That's awesome. Perfect. Well, let's hop right into it. Tell us how you got involved in roller derby.
I got out of the Navy in 2012 and had no direction, didn't know what I was going to do. But in 2008, I had previously helped a league start up in El Paso. It was formerly Sun City Roller Girls. Just a renegade league, just trying to do it for the fun of it.
Sure.
My mom and my aunt and a godmother were the founders of the league. So
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So when I got out, my mom wanted to do a men's team, and she literally looked at me. She's like, "Go buy gear. You're starting derby." I had no choice, actually. But I'm glad, it gave me a direction, something to do when I was fresh out of the Navy, transitioning into civilian life.
Sure.
From there, started the league. We were good there for a couple years. Got murdered by the Rattlescapes. Our very first game. Like, didn't know we could even skate backwards as a roll. Like, we had learned the knee starts, and you all had moved on, so we didn't even know what we were doing.
Great.
Then I moved kind of around, went to Alaska, and that's where I started kind of like learning how to coach and ref, because there was no one for me to skate with. But
Sure.
there was a team on Kodiak Island. They were Rock Island Rollers, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think they're around anymore, but Alaska has a lot of roller derby.
Yeah.
They play like either live games or replays on like TV all the time.
That's great.
But did that for a year. Was a substitute teacher in Alaska. Came back down to the lower 48, and what was I doing? Oh, went back to El Paso. Our team was kind of like barely together, so did that for a little bit in El Paso, and then my brother moved to Austin a year before me with Austin Anarchy. My stepdad, and my brother, and so eventually I had to move out, and the three of us played for several years together. My brother went on to get his gold medal with Team USA, and he's kind of done. He just had a kid. I took a little break to finish school. I got married, just kind of living life for a little bit, and then COVID happened, extended my break.
Sure.
But post-COVID, kind of like rogue agent in Austin. I wasn't really with Anarchy at the time, with some drama there, but I was cool with every other league, so I just skated wherever I could.
Sure.
I'm really, really tight with TXRD, the bank track league here. As soon as I moved here, I was like, that's a relationship I wanted to make, and I love that league. They've always been very good to me. But then post-COVID, just started doing like pickup derby, like who wants to meet up in the park on Fridays.
Sure. I love it.
And just keeping that going for the last like 3 years with Austin Anarchy again.
Yeah.
I was the captain when we first met.
Yes.
And now I'm the president of the league. So
Yay, nice. Very cool. Awesome. As you were growing up, or even in the Navy, in high school, if you did any college, did you play any other sports or anything like that?
Growing up, like really little, tried football, not my thing. Which is ironic because what do we do now?
Sure.
But no, I found martial arts when I was 15, freshman in high school, along with doing ROTC in high school, all 4 years. I did martial arts all the time. Started really at 15, kind of came to classes early to like just hang out and get ready and watch the kids. Well, eventually my sensei walked over. He's like, "You're going to start helping. No more sitting around." And literally at 15 till I left at 18 for the Navy, I was an instructor, like in any way I could.
Very cool.
I've had that kind of like coaching into my DNA since then. So, which is why I coach the TXRD Hustlers here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, martial arts the entire time.
Cool.
That's where Bruiser Lee comes from.
Yeah. Nice.
Hey,
I figured it was like a play on Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah, exactly. My original number was, before they took out all those special markers, was 1-inch punch.
I love that. That's
Awesome. I was going to ask, does knowing the being a knowing a discipline in martial arts help with roller derby? I mean, is there? I'm guessing balance. Probably you get a lot of balance out of it. But is there transferable skills?
Yeah, I'm definitely told my reaction times are a little bit faster. I'm definitely watching like elbows and punches as they miss me on the track. So I'm definitely very aware of like everything kind of happening around me. I think that comes from that. Just like head on a swivel, you never know where you're going to need to react. Other than that, just like my really rocking calves and my great stamina. But other than that, just that.
That's great. So it sounds like roller derby is a family affair for sure. But what kind of skating experience did you have? Were you like a rink rat growing up or anything like that? Have you just always been around skates?
Yeah, growing up in El Paso, it was called Roller King.
Sure.
It was a really cool big rink, like classic, was like around from the 80s, all that. Was there like growing up and on and off a lot. fractured my wrist there, as one does.
Sure.
But then took a break. I skated maybe like once on rollerblades when I was in the Navy.
Okay.
I didn't know who they were at the time. I would have breakfast with the Rat City roller girls at a high-low in Bremerton. And they're like, oh, yeah, my mom does roller derby. And they're like in their full gear. And like, I had no idea who they were. But yeah, no, other than that, like I had to relearn every skill that I use now. And that's why I kind of teach it the way I'm like, I know how to do it my way. I can teach you how to do it my way, or we can figure it out your way.
Right.
It was definitely like, yeah, learning how to skate. Don't go find any videos of me out there year one. They're pretty bad.
Well, I think, we all, got to start somewhere, right?
True. And that's why I tell everyone there's a place for everyone, and you can start wherever you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you had mentioned, and I feel like a dummy, maybe this is a regular thing, but you had mentioned you were a Navy cryptologist, and I had to Google that because I was like, what the F is a cryptologist?
Yeah.
So can you tell me how you got into that and like in your own words, what it means to you?
Yeah, when I took my ASVAB way back when, I scored really high. And so my recruiter was like, hey, you want to be a nuke? And she would like, you don't want to be a nuke. Don't be a nuke. So like, okay, what are the options? And so they sell you the story that you're going to be a James Bond type, learning codes and hacking into systems. No, I mostly had to do like missile defense on a ship. Like you get radar signals, you have to memorize what that signal looks like in your head on the waveband with the frequencies, all of that. It's terrible. I can read numbers like a different language if I have to. Other than that, just like working with satellites, I had a top secret clearance, so I can't really go too far into any of that.
No, it's fair. Yeah. Understandable. Let me also ask, you've made some moves from like Alaska to El Paso and had, quite the difference in climates there. Is that something that you like, dealing with different surroundings? Is it something that you didn't like? And why kind of all the extremes?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in El Paso, joined the Navy, went East Coast, West Coast, so I went all of it. Learned through all of this that I really, really hate snow, and I really, really hate the desert. So, we drove from El Paso as a family up through Canada into Alaska. Had to take a 9-hour ferry to the island we were going to live on for a year, just to do it, honestly.
It's pretty cool. And you mentioned you were a substitute teacher there?
Yeah, for all ages, I would try to avoid, like, I tested the waters with second graders. They tore me up. So I'd be like, no. Anyone else, I can flex my authority. They'll know with me. But if you do the ABCs out of order of the numbers, the whole day's off with the little ones.
Sure.
I loved being a substitute teacher in Alaska. I was the only like highly requested. I wouldn't have to like pick a certain job. I would just apply for like, hey, I'm going to sub today. And I would get a phone call like, no, you're going to this one over here. Kids love me. They were great. It's a small island town, so you see them everywhere.
Okay. Very cool. Let me ask, you had mentioned like you didn't have the choice to play derby. It sort of sounds like, your mom, your dad, your brother, quite a few people in your family play roller derby. But is it something that you actually had an interest in when you got involved with, or was it sort of something that you kind of had to learn to love on your own?
It's something that was interesting to me for sure, having like almost helped found the league at the beginning when it started, right before I left for the Navy, because my aunt is also a skater.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, they were wanting me to be involved somehow, and I wasn't ready to commit to like reffing because the rules weren't exactly any other rule set. They still to this day play Renegade.
Sure.
Under a different name, but Bank Track now. But I became the league secretary. And so I was already kind of involved. I heard all the drama. I was like, ooh, love tea all day long. Give it to me. And I had to document it. Ooh, even better, even better. But no, my mom was like, buy stuff. You're going to start skating. And at first I was a little hesitant. Like, I don't know if I want to be like rocking on skates like that. But it was so much fun immediately. My brother, we had to literally like drag him. He didn't want nothing to do with roller derby. And I had to like give him all my gear one day. And we didn't train him, nothing. We're just like, you're going to jam. You're jamming now. Go. And he immediately loved it too.
And I mean, now that's funny. And now he's like gold medalist with Team USA for USARs, right?
No, for MRDA.
Oh, MRDA even. Nice. Wow. Awesome. Very cool. Love that.
That's a heck of an origin story for him.
Yeah.
You know,
We make fun of him all the time. Like, why are you retiring? And he just had a baby, so he's like trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, well, you're not done. You're just on pause trying to figure
You're
it.
just taking a break. That's a thing happening these days. A lot of us are, squirting these kids out. So
Yeah.
I am not taking a break. I will say I'm still doing it. So love it. But let's talk about Austin Anarchy and how things are going. You guys have a busy year, a fair amount of tournaments, Clover Cup. We have Dawn of the Derby coming up. Very busy. You've got some new teams in Texas as well. New teams in the MRDA, so in the South even. Great for business, great for everybody. But yeah, let's talk about Austin and how things are going and what you think the goals are for 2025.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure. I mean, I'm on the training committee. I'm not a captain or as a legal role. We're trying to find any way we can host a game here in Austin at least one time this year and just like build on that because we have to travel everywhere we want to go. And it's weird that we're in the middle of the country. So like, why is no one coming here? We just did Clover Cup. We went and finally found out what Yohala had to offer and it was great. We knew it would be, and they gave us a run for our money, but it was honestly a really clean game for us for the most part because the next game was not. But we played really, really well with what we had, and like we knew going in they were going to try to like take our heads off like they always do. That one was a really good game. I say we lost, but we played really well. The next game we won, we played terribly. And we know that we're just like, okay, every time we spiral somewhere, but we're still up.
Self-awareness is key.
Yeah. Clover was good. It was a good time to like revisit the Dallas guys. We know half of them. They've been around as long as we have.
They've been around a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they got some fresh blood, and so it's fun to see them. Wombo's up there, who used to be Anarchy. Yeah. So it's always fun to try to take his little head off. It was a good tournament. Great venue as always. Looking forward to Pittsburgh. We're between that. We're actually going to play a Hall's B team.
Nice.
And actually next weekend, up in Waco. That would be fun. We don't have a B team, so we're just whoever can come with us.
Yeah, no, that's sort of where we're at here. We don't really have a B team, so we'll play anybody. We went to New Hampshire last year and played like Casco's B team, and then we played a team that's trying to get their game so they can be MRDA, and like we don't care, we'll play.
Yeah, that's kind of our vibe. Like we just need playtime as much as we can.
I remember last year at the roller derby tournament, you guys had a tough time getting up to Cleveland. I remember didn't a couple people drive, I think? I remember they were having problems with their flights.
Yeah, it was the flights. And luckily, for the most part, our team was able to be there. It was the Atlanta team.
They had 7, I think, or
they had 8. That was the first game we knew ahead of time. I don't know, first or second game. Whatever. We knew that game was like, okay, we're gonna mop. It's fine. But we had to make it fun for them. And that's kind of Anarchy's vibe is like up or down. We want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get crazy on the track and on the bench, and it's me telling them to calm down and just have a good time. We'll play some music if we can. For that game, we're like, there's no music. Let's just be humble, like really have fun with them. We took time out for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And like told them like whenever you need a break, let us know. And like,
we'll figure it out, right?
Because you're in that situation, and if they forfeit before the third quarter, it's 100-0, and so we're like, we can get that a lot higher than that. So it was kind of like, let's be nice, but we have a job to do.
Yeah, I was thinking, I thought maybe you had travel difficulties only because I think you guys all got there like an hour before your game or something. I think maybe it was just the flight schedule or something. Yeah.
No, that sounds like a freight train thing. So that's probably what happened.
I gotcha.
That could be a freight train thing. Yeah. No, we had a great game. I'm excited to get back after it. It'll be fun for me, having, coached you guys in the past at Dawn of the Derby. So I know it's going to be just a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, that was the first time I met you. I'm like, who's this dude? Does he not know what's about to happen? Okay.
It was great, yeah. And you guys are always fun to play against. So we are definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a good tournament
So
as a whole. So.
make sure your whole team has their jorts ready because you know how
Sure. Yeah. We kind of jorted up pretty well the last time, so we'll see. The tough part will be because it's 9 a.m, getting everybody to like be excited about jorts. So that's just going to be a tough game for everybody.
I'll bring my music and we'll see what we can do in a Red Bull.
Bring the caffeine and all that good stuff too. I want to talk about the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Oh yes, the other thing eating up all of my rest of my time.
Yeah, so tell me all about it. What is it? What
Yeah, honestly,
I see like the pictures of you, and I mean this with love, but like in like robes or dresses and makeup, and tell me all about it. I love it.
So, and I encourage every Derby League, if you have one in your city, Order of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. That's their overall banner. They were started in San Francisco back in the 70s. And every city kind of like had their own chapter. Not every city, most cities have their own chapter. Here in Austin, we're called the Weird City Sisters. We are the 21st century radical drag nuns, and we minister to our queer community. A lot of the queer community is shunned by religion, so we decided to opt that and turn it into something loving for our people.
Yeah.
At its core, they're a fundraising organization for other charitable organizations. And so I highly encourage, if you need some fundraising, go find your chapter and link up somehow, because that's what they do. This is a really good time. We go out to local bars. That's where we minister, and just kind of provide. What our whole goal is to be like the attraction to like draw everyone else's attention. So in the background, you can be your happy gay old little self. The goal in your vows are you take vows. It took me a year to get a fully professed sister status, which is what I am, a fully professed sister. It took me a year of doing work, sitting there, listening, going out and talking to people. But your main goal and your main vows are to promulgate universal joy and expatiate the guilt. So just spread some love and don't worry about the guilt. You bless your
There you go.
You're absolved of all your sins. Go and sin some more.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's beautiful. Let me ask. So you're the president. You mentioned you're the president of that league. You also, I think you'd mentioned you're on like the league. I called it a league. That group.
Yeah, I'm the vice president for our local chapter here, which is known as the Mistress of Novices.
There you go. And then you're, involved in Austin Anarchy. I think you mentioned the training committee. You do Friday Night Lights in your city. What is it that kind of makes you want to donate more of your time? We always pay to play in these activities. Why donate more of your time?
Yeah, I kind of bring it all to Friday Night Lights. It's for the community. It's whoever shows up. It's a mix of juniors and adults. It's no points are counted. It's 5 jams at a time. We take a break. We laugh. If we have refs, I show up. I let them talk trash to the players. Like, it's about having that good energy, like be your own hero vibe that we used to have. And so I feel like I'm kind of like holding on to that and trying to like shake people. Like, remember, we used to have fun. It used to be a good time. And not kind of break that seriousness. Like, that was a good challenge against Yalhalla. They're usually the Dallas folks are usually really focused and engaged. So it's fun to like mingle with them and just kind of like goof around. And you know me, I'm always like throwing a stupid dab or just like spinning around. I will literally laugh or lay on the track. I do not care.
You have some great derby pictures out there.
Yeah, thanks. But no, I think it's a good environment that's really welcoming to pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
And so there's no reason for me to walk away from that. And if it's still here and I have juniors and kids that I can see that are coming up, I need to be here for them to come up.
Awesome. So you've been around a little while. You've seen, a variety of teams, whether it's, pre-COVID, pre-Navy, teams that maybe your mom, your aunt, sister, I forget everybody that you had mentioned.
We call it a Derby Mafia family.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. So you've seen all these players and teams. You were, in the heart of Texas. And it's you've been with or around TXRG and some of the originators and stuff like that. What are some of your favorite teams and players from over the years?
Ooh, I've met so many, and a lot of their names are very inappropriate at this point. I guess here in
You can say that they're fictional names. It's okay to say.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. My mom's original Derby name and her whole team's attitude was like El Paso, old school, Chola vibes. They would fight at every game. People were known like they're going to be the team that fights. So like my mom's Derby was Ike Kula, which is what a B word.
Sure.
She was total.
Love that.
That was my first coach, so you can't say that. And then we had like Chichin Gona was this lady with like way out here boobs, and she would just toss you around the track and was like, okay, Chichis, chill out. Just like those old school La Peleonera, like the fighter, and she was the one to like grab you by your helmet and take you down. So like I still like live in that era in my head of Derby. Like that's when it was crazy, it was wild. Refs were not safe. You could catch one. Just crazy Derby times, those times. So that's what I lived there. You asked me about like maybe current people coming up. I'm like freight train. Like
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not too connected with all of the Derby people, so I kind of like just live where I know. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. How does it feel getting to play with somebody like Freight Train, who's just not only like fun but amazing and like mostly humble about it too?
Oh,
It's got to be great, right?
she's fully humble. When I first moved to Austin in 2015, she asked me to play with her in a sevens tournament. That was my first time interacting with her, and so got second place and lost to Dallas, which was obvious. But I learned like she's so humble. She's very quiet. Like if you can get a conversation with her, it's a blessed one. Because even on team days, we're just like, "You got something to say, Freight?" It's like, "No, y'all doing great." But it's funny because you look at her videos online and like it's a totally different personality.
It's funny, right?
but I
She's
love her.
so quiet in person.
Yeah, normally practices are her and I jamming for 2 hours if Shark's not there, and just giving each other advice, bouncing off ideas. She's a very, very cool, chill person. It's lovely having her around.
Very cool. Very cool. What kind of habits or superstitions have you developed over the years? Whether it's game day, if it's mid bout, what kind of things do you typically do?
I definitely have to blast music as loud as possible around me. I think you've experienced that.
Yeah.
And I have to have my Rebel. And I think other than that, I'm good. People say I play better when I'm hungover. I think I'm just slower and safer.
Just more calculated, right?
Yeah. So when I'm out, at the after party and have a game in the morning, I'll be fine.
Yeah, fair. Do you have an exit strategy? Like, what's your plan moving forward? Are you just gonna, ride it till the proverbial wheels fall off, or do you, want to make it, an extra 5 years, or what's the game plan moving forward?
I think no matter what, I'll always have Friday Night Lights. So I'll be here to facilitate that once a month for the rest of my life, probably. But with Anarchy, I jump off and on the charter. I get, I can only care so much about being competitive after you play the same teams over and over again. So I have been known to take breaks, but I still am part of the community, whether I'm running my own program or reffing, coaching. I don't see an end for me. It's literally my family brought me into this, and so my brother just had a child. So guess
We got to start a new juniors league soon, right?
Yeah, so I have another 18 years to wait for at least.
Sure, fair. All right. Tell us about your Dungeons and Dragons character.
Oh, I just made him. This is my fourth time trying to play with him. I kind of make an idea and I try to experience it and get to know them as I'm playing.
Sure.
His name, he doesn't really have a name. He has a title. He's really titles because names are boring.
Sure.
It is Galileo the Interlude, and Galileo is Greek for laughter. So he's the laughter in between the awkwardness.
Okay.
Which can be me sometimes.
I like that.
but he's currently babysitting, so he's not doing too much.
Okay. Is D&D like the only like tabletop game that you play, or are you just a general tabletop gaming fan?
Not the only one. It's just the one we have right now. Because we have family nights still, and we'll get down on Catan, some Uno, some.
Sure.
Honestly, we have a closet just full of games. So like, roll a dice, see what we're playing tonight.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm looking forward to figuratively and literally running into you in May here coming up.
In jorts.
In jorts even.
We'll be seeing this from some point.
Yes, definitely. We'll dab on each other. It'll be great. Before I let you go, I want to know what you think the future of roller derby looks like.
Oof, it looks like these juniors coming in and really kind of speeding it up, or I don't know. I got hit so hard last night from these young bloods. I'm telling you
Good
what.
problem to have, right?
Yeah, one of them was my brother, so get ready for him.
Nice, perfect, awesome, buddy. Well, it's always a pleasure. I'm super excited to see you again. It's going to be a blast. So you take care of yourself, and we'll run into each other soon.
Yeah, very soon. Give me lots of love.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Right back at you. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah.